Hello, how are you? Yeah, I guess this is like 4 months after I shared with you my first experience here in Canada, where I'm studying my Master of Business Administration studies. That's a program that will take 2 years, and studying it at TRU, that's Thompson Rivers University here in British Columbia in Kamloops. So I have experienced here or Canada life for now 5 years, 5 months, sorry. Pretty much that's the first semester. So fast forward, I've been here for the winter semester for the program. Of course, there have been new discoveries, new experiences, learnings, lessons, whatever you call it. And then there's some wins and some challenges, some friends made, places discovered, got some work to keep me busy, to mention but a few. So as I was going through the comments I kept on receiving, or the good wishes, some questions, I will choose some and I'll be answering them as we go on. I don't intend to bore you or take you through a whole lot here and there, but just like doing life or being new in a place really is not something that you would rush or come to draw conclusions about very fast. The things that you really need to watch for some time before you can share them. So number one, some of you, I'm very happy you got so encouraged and you started thinking about pursuing school here in Canada for one reason or another. I don't know why you choose Canada. I chose Canada for some reasons. But I just wish you well. One thing I'll say about this is some people are not like really sure of when to do the applications. They're not sure of when the learning periods are here for university studies or higher learning. But it's a bit different from back home. So here some programs will run through the winter, then they may not be offered in the summer, but they'll be offered in the fall. For example, my program that I'm studying, the Master of Business Administration, in this university where I am, it is offered only in the fall, that's September to December. Then it's offered in the winter. Winter semester runs from January to end of April. Yeah, so for the summer it's not offered. So it is just to let you know that you have to plan accordingly. And in my experience, when you apply to a school for a placing, they will respond to you in consideration that they will need you to have processed your study permit for the following or the upcoming term for which you've been given a placing. So in my experience, like in Uganda, it just took me 5 months to process the study permit that I talked about in my previous videos, and I may not really go back to the nitty-gritty. But when you're looking for school here, there are considerations that you have to make. For some people, it's the school fees. For some people, it's the location. For some people, it's what they can easily get depending on the scores that they had. There are various factors that you deal with, but whatever it is, I just wish you the best. I hope for those that set out to find school, I hope you found those schools. I hope you've joined the summer school because it started the summer term. It usually runs from May to end of August. So those that are still looking or planning to come and join or go to schools elsewhere for the fall, I also wish you the best. Yeah, so go just check out how life treats you wherever you are and what opportunities will come your way. Yeah, that's all about studying. The school fees, I guess by now you've discovered, as international students, we pay much more than the domestic students for whichever program that you're given a placing into. You always have to know that you're going to pay more. And when I say more, it's not like just a few dollars more than they pay. You may find you're paying for a program like 2 times more than they're paying, or 3 times more. And the tuition fees are different for different programs. So I don't know which program you're interested in. Whatever it is, the message that I'm giving you here is don't rush into this decision. The best part is you taking this decision well knowing that maybe you have saved away some money, or you have some sort of support system that is going to help you get this tuition. I've seen many students here frustrated. For the first semester, it's usually okay because in most cases, before you come here, you've made a deposit on your tuition. You have living allowances that you've showed on your account. Like Canada, in most cases, they will require for you to have at least 10,000 Canadian dollars on your account. So the struggle is not so much in the first semester, but then it gets worrisome as you plan for the fall, or some people plan to do some courses in the summer. You feel they're already like pacing, where am I going to get this money from? Remember, with the study permit, we are only allowed to work 20 hours. And it doesn't mean that you coming in here is going to be very easy for you to find work. And one thing I have noticed is when we come here, many of us have left like these nice blue collar jobs, or we've been business people, we've been saving up money, and the things that we're supposed to do here, or the type of work available for us to do to earn some money, could be like not exactly what we expected to be doing. Some people may term it as lower than what they can or they were able to get back home. But guess what? I have met very many people that are working in hotels, and they're doing, maybe they're in the housekeeping section, or they're servers, or they do security. I have seen people working in supermarkets as they attend to customers. They do personal shopping. I have seen people doing what is called care jobs. They take care of people in nursing homes, or in locations that have been set aside for these people that need care. They could be youth that are dealing with drug addiction. They could be some elderly people. They could be people with certain illnesses where they cannot take care of themselves, and or they can partially take care of themselves, but they need people to continue watching them, and it is getting them some reasonable money. For example, here in BC, there is what is called minimum wage, like the money you cannot go below to give someone for every hour worked. So here in BC, it's $15 per hour. So whatever job you're doing, look at it as, we always encourage ourselves to look at this as jobs we are doing to help us get by in the sense that you will always need $1 or 2 or 3 or more coming in for the time that you put in for work. You may not need it exactly now, but later you may need it for your living allowances. But for tuition, I really encourage that by the time you decide to come here, please try and save up at least maybe half your tuition, because you may not be able to work only 20 hours and be able to save your living allowances and also save your tuition. It becomes very stressful, and yet the studies are also stressful and very, very, very demanding. Yeah, so that's a caution to us all who are planning to study wherever we are planning to study, that tuition fees really get high. The notion of people having to come here with the thought that they will work the allowed 20 hours to make the tuition that they need, sometimes it doesn't turn out the way we think it would. Things really get tough, and here the fees or tuition is due immediately the term starts. They even have a way, they will warn you that if you take long to pay, they may charge interest on that money. So I had questions around that part. Tuition, is it affordable? Is it this? For example, for my program in my university, I don't know if I shared with you how much it is, but I'll just give an example. When we started, the whole program is supposed to cost 45,000 Canadian dollars. But as the semester went on, this first semester, the university announced a bump or an increase in the tuition due to inflation rates. So everyone knows inflation and recession and all those things are happening in the world. So they increased it by 3%. So you can do the calculation. It's no longer what we expected. It has instead increased. But then guess what? The work hours that you have or have been allocated to you as a student, they didn't increase. They're still at 20. And the pay or the minimum wage has not increased. And by far, by Canadian standards, BC is one of those provinces that have a high minimum wage rates. There's some provinces where they go less than $15 per hour. And I'm not discouraging you or anything. That's a reasonable amount of money given what we get back home for the work we do. But please do think about your income, your savings before you make the decision to come here. You don't want to get into trouble trying to work more hours, because you try to work more hours, then that means you're not giving your education enough time. And they say the primary reason as why you're here is your education. So even if you work more to get more money during the studies and then you fail these courses, there is a requirement for you to retake these courses and you will have to pay for them. So it's a bit tricky, but you have to know how to balance. I think I'll stop here about the school and all that and touch another subject. Yeah, so cost of living is another question that I was asked about. Cost of living is high, like everywhere. Even back home, things have changed. Cost of living is really high. The rent fees here are high. So I live in a studio apartment, or what we would call a bachelor apartment, or I have a room that has everything within it. It's self-contained, it's spacious. It's on an apartment building somewhere in downtown, and my rent fees without the utilities, I mean hydro and the electricity and all that, is $1,050 per month. So I have a different bill for internet. I have a different bill from BC Hydro for my electricity and water. Yeah, and other things that you may need to carry on. You have like a phone plan, you have groceries to account for. On a weekly basis for your groceries, you can plan for not less than $80. It can go to 100, it can go to 120, it can go to 150, depending on what you eat, what you can afford, what you want. Everything is available. It is just you cutting your cloth to the size or the portions that you can afford. Yeah, so I will not dwell much there, but life here is expensive, and for people to manage their costs, for example, on living, there is a shared way of living, like they get a whole house, so they keep on looking for roommates, and everyone like will get like their own bedroom. They call them roommates, but ideally it would be housemates. Like you have a 3-bedroom house, everyone has a bedroom, your 3 people, then you have these common areas that you'll share. You'll share maybe the kitchen, you share the sitting room area, then you share the bathroom and the toilet. So depending on what you can afford and what your preferences are and what you can accommodate or sacrifice, the sacrifices you make, you take that decision. However, the accommodations on campus, usually those are shared. Still, you can be like 4 people, everyone gets their own room where to stay, but you share the kitchen, the living area, and the bathroom and toilet. So these are things that you try to figure out as you get used to living here. You either choose to get your own place or choose to share with others, or it is dependent on very many factors. It is you being able to afford. I think I've covered that as well. Then the people that have kept on asking me about them being in other countries, they would like to cross here, how can they come here? Ideally, I would like to say honestly, I may not be very sure of other paths to come here. People come here as visitors. People will come here, they will apply for jobs, and they will get these jobs and come here. There are those people that apply for school like I did and come here, and that is like the quickest way to get here if you fulfill all the requirements. I call upon you to always visit the IRCC website. That's the Canadian, they're like their embassy, Canada embassy, or the commission, or I don't know what you call it. It is like their official website. All the information is there. There are provinces that are easy to go to. For example, provinces that are in areas that many Canadians don't want to go to because they're very cold, or they are far north, and they need people to go there. They need labor, because we all know the Canadian population is older. So they need youth to come here and partake of the jobs and offer the labor. But then you have to also fulfill the requirements that they've put in place. So whatever you do, whatever your plan is to get here, always check with the website. That's IRCC. Check what they're saying about it, which parts are genuine. Don't get conned or duped. I know there are people who come here in several other ways, but I would encourage you to try and do the right thing, because sometimes when those other ways backfire on you, you have so much to lose, and you may never be able to be granted a chance to come back here. I think I've answered most of the questions so far. Most of you keep on writing to me emails. I try as much as possible to answer you. Where I haven't or delayed a response, I know I will. Life here gets so busy, so demanding, and there is so much that you have to get going. So much that you have on your hands. I just pray that you understand me and try to reason with me on that one. It doesn't hurt to send me a reminder if I haven't answered you. Like, there are very many questions that come in but it's not that I have anything against you. I always wish people the best. I want to win with others. I want to see you win on a good note. I passed my exams. I did very well for my first semester, and I look forward to other wins. I look forward to completing the program successfully. I have a job at Walmart, and here for the summer break, and we are allowed to work more than 20 hours. So everyone tries to do what they can as I experience more of the life here, get used to it. Yes, I wish you all the best, and I pray you achieve all your dreams. Thank you.